Okay, let's jump right into this tutorial on something I know we've all been wondering about. Today, we're totally setting aside the hype, all the crazy rumors, and we're looking at the hard, unfiltered 2026 financial data on AI-generated content. If you've been wondering whether you can truly make a full-time income by leveraging AI in the creator economy, you are in exactly the right place. We're going to look at documented case studies, actual revenue breakdowns, and comprehensive surveys to uncover the uncompromising reality of what it actually takes to succeed in this landscape. Here is our agenda for today. First, the AI income reality. Second, the 187K blueprint. Third, where the money actually is. Fourth, the 18-month timeline. And finally, surviving the trust gap. Now, I am willing to bet that nearly everyone watching this tutorial has seen a variation of this exact quote floating around their feed at some point. I made $10,000 in 30 days with AI content, right? It's kind of the pervasive hustle culture claim of our era. A new video pops up literally every week promising that, with just the right prompts and an automated workflow, effortless wealth is just weeks away. It's incredibly tempting to believe that AI has basically created a magic button for passive income. But what does the actual data say? That is the question we absolutely have to ask if we want to treat this like a real business. We've got to shatter that illusion right now and ground ourselves in real economic realities. Because look, while those explosive 30-day success stories do exist, they are not the median outcome. They are the extreme exception. So to understand your actual odds, we really have to look at the broader market. The 2026 Creator Economy Survey of 1,000 US-based creators brilliantly illustrates this sobering reality. Nearly half of them, 48.7% to be exact, make under 10 grand a year. Another 45.6% earn a modest living, somewhere between $10,000 and $100,000. And that tiny top bracket, just 5.7% actually clear six figures. This completely exposes the massive survivorship bias in the industry. The algorithms feed us these Mr. Beast-level success stories, but the median tells a much, much more grounded tale. However, for AI-first creators, there is a very specific, documented milestone that you really need to be aware of, and that is $15,000 annually. This specific figure is absolutely crucial. It's an inflection point. The data shows that once a creator crosses this threshold, growth stops being purely linear and it starts accelerating. This is the point where you typically start seeing more brand deals, better platform visibility, and much faster audience growth. Getting to this number is for sure the hardest part, but once you do, it acts as a launchpad. Section 1, the 187K blueprint, diversification versus volume. Let's look at this documented case study of a former marketing employee who built 3 AI-powered income streams that combined for a whopping $187,000 in a single year. How'd they do it? By operating as a diversified consultant. They use content purely to build credibility, which then sold high-ticket AI consulting work. Actually, think of it this way. The content wasn't the product. It was a credibility funnel. Now contrast that with the trap of the Faceless AI channel. This is the model most beginners picture, right? Relying purely on AI scripts, automated voiceovers, and chasing viral volume to earn ad revenue. Well, it's mathematically flawed, because it depends on the smallest and slowest growing slice of the whole income stack. Section 2, where the money actually is. Revenue breakdown. Let's walk through this financial prospectus and look at the revenue share of top earners. You might be surprised. Affiliate and tool commissions make up 40 to 60% of their income. Services and consulting bring in 30 to 40%. Digital products account for 15 to 25%. And down at the very bottom, practically paying out in pennies, platform ad revenue coming in at less than 15%. This emphasizes a critical truth. The most hyped income source, getting paid by platforms for views, is actually the smallest and slowest path to wealth. You literally need hundreds of thousands of consistent monthly views to replace a salary with ad revenue alone. So I have to ask you, which path fits your starting point? If you're starting with zero audience and zero budget, you might need to focus on a niche digital product driven by organic content. But if you have existing expertise in a specific industry, offering services or consulting triggered by your AI-assisted content will be your fastest route to real income. You absolutely have to align your strategy with your actual baseline. Section 3, the 18-month timeline, a realistic roadmap. The honest journey, pieced together from our 2026 data, is deliberately paced out over 18 months. The 0 to 3 month phase, that's your testing period. You're just finding a format and a niche that converts. From 3 to 9 months, you start seeing your first real consistent income, usually from an affiliate link or maybe a digital product. Between 9 and 18 months is when you really start stacking multiple income streams together. And it isn't until the 18-month mark and beyond that you see a fully diversified, top-tier business emerge. So the crucial takeaway here is that wealth takes time. It's a progression. At the entry level, you're making up to $800 a month with near zero ad revenue. During the growing phase, you might hit $5,000 a month with consistent posting and early product sales. By the established phase, that 9 to 18-month mark, you're pulling in $3,000 to $15,000 as service inquiries begin arriving. And finally, the top tier, which represents that top 5 to 10% of creators, is making $15,000 to over $100,000 a month with a fully diversified stack where ad revenue is essentially just bonus money. Section 4. Surviving the trust gap. Market headwinds. First, consider this staggering number. 207 million. That is the number of active content creators worldwide as of 2026, up from just 50 million back in 2020. I mean, the field has literally quadrupled. This massive increase in market supply means fierce competition for the exact same brand and platform budgets, which naturally pushes average ad rates down for everyone who isn't sitting at the very top. But here is the most alarming headwind. There has been a steep drop in consumer enthusiasm for AI content. In 2023, consumer trust was sitting at 60%, but by 2025, it had plummeted to just 26%. Audiences are becoming incredibly savvy, and they are pushing back. There's now a severe, measurable engagement penalty for creators who rely on fully automated, anonymous content. Basically, if your audience thinks a robot made the video without human oversight, they just click away. So how do the top 5% actually thrive despite all these headwinds? Well, they follow a few winning patterns. First, they diversify their income early. They definitely don't wait for their primary channel to stall. Second, they use content as a credibility funnel, not some viral lottery ticket. Third, they choose niches where a service or digital product is just a natural next step for the viewer. And finally, and perhaps most importantly to combat that trust gap, they maintain a disclosed human presence. They blend the incredible production speed of AI with authentic human judgment and personality. Which brings us to our uncompromising final verdict. Earning a full-time income from AI content is absolutely real, it's documented, and it's achievable. But it is a small business with an 18-month build, not a lottery ticket with a 30-day payout. The truth was never really a secret. It was just buried under all the highlight reels. So I'll leave you with this provocative question to chew on. Knowing what the real data says today, are you ready to stop chasing those fleeting viral lottery tickets and instead commit to building a resilient, fully diversified 18-month business?